Man. You know,
Okay. Well,
it's like
sounds good.
first of all, thanks so much for sending this one. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's such a beautiful one, and it's one of those subjects actually, when I teach that players don't really approach too much, and
Okay.
which is like playing some of this stuff that you have in the book, meaning playing outside, and Rodney Jones, like I spoke with Rodney like a couple of months ago, and he
Yeah,
wrote the
great. That's a
foreword.
great
Yeah,
interview.
yeah. Oh, thanks. And first question, like, what's the main idea? Why you decided actually to do that? I mean, what's the story behind it?
Yeah, I feel like all of it sort of came from Rodney, actually, because he's, a pretty big mentor in my life. And he kind of just suggested, I think I showed up to his house one time with like a 250-page binder of like
Ooh.
transcriptions
Oh shit, man. What
and
did
like
you
mostly
transcribe?
like mid 60s Coltrane and
Mm.
McCoy, like A Love Supreme, the Coltrane quartet plays, like that whole era. Um, and he was like, "You should write a book," and so I just kind of did it, basically. So yeah, and yeah, he actually hooked me up with Mel Bay. Have you checked out his Mel Bay book?
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, great one. So yeah,
I,
he
yeah.
kind of hooked up that way, which was very nice of him.
So how did you start? I mean, if you had like 250 pages of
Oh
transcriptions,
yeah,
what was the concept of putting it together? I mean,
right. Yeah, I think I kind of tried writing the book that I wish I had when I was like 15 or 16. Because I really was just trying to, like, for years and years, I was just trying to figure out when Coltrane kind of takes things to a more dense harmonic area within a modal setting. I
yeah,
just didn't understand, like, harmonically, like what concepts he was employing. Or not, well, yeah. I mean, just like basic things. Uh, like the first half of the book was kind of the main starting point where it's like talking about ways to abstract from
yeah,
a just like a stagnant minor chord or like other kind of like common progressions, and then yeah, so that, and then I was kind of like, well, I should maybe include some guitar related things that would help
yeah,
people actually like communicate with those harmonic ideas with some sort of depth and fluency.
yeah. And I mean, that's why I included also the tabs, right? I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing actually for guitarists if you have the notes as well because it helps,
yeah, I
to
think
grab.
Mel
Yeah.
actually I think I don't know if they require it, but
Oh,
they
really? Okay.
strongly suggested that, like, yeah, put some and it's actually good because if
Yeah,
trying to put those ideas on the guitar, it kind of the phrasing and fingering is kind of the most important
yeah,
thing, like more so than the notes. So yeah, I figured that that makes a lot of sense to put the tab in there.
yeah. I mean, it's like especially some of the lines that are here, like that's some tricky stuff there. It's like how would you approach that? Otherwise, if you don't have the tab,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's
it
a
can be
good
a little
thing.
just
So
yeah,
yeah.
maybe a little overwhelming without the tab there.
How long did it take you? I mean, like, uh, my Bible when I was studying. I mean, I'm still studying in a way, but was the Advancing Guitarist by Mick Goodrick, obviously,
Yeah,
and
so
that's
good.
like, but like this one is a little bit shorter, but so much material still. It's like in that one, I just today I was like looking through it, like I don't know, 12 tone lines. I was like, shit, man, that's
Oh
so
yeah.
much good material here that you can
Cool.
stick just on one line and mess around with it. But like, how long did it take you to put everything together and finish it? And
Yeah, I kind of just like I did it in a couple weeks, but it was me just going crazy and spending like my whole day. I mean, like
shit,
to the
yeah,
point where I would stop when I could not think anymore, and I just kind of like did it for I don't know. I probably spent like 4 or 5 hours a day just for a couple weeks.
shit,
Just
man,
I
that's a
just wanted
lot,
to
man.
get. I'm just my brain works that way. I just like want to get it done, and yeah. So
But that's the
um,
best, yeah.
yeah. So not too long. Yeah.
How would you advise students? I mean, to use the book. Like, what's the idea behind it? Let's say, I mean, to use it. I mean, in a practical sense, or approach it like if you open this book, like,
Right, right. Yeah, that's a good question because there are some things that it may seem unrelated, like one chapter and compared to another chapter. Um, I mean, I don't know. I guess based on their interests. Um, Especially, I mean, I think people would get this book because they're interested in certain musicians who go outside, which I know is kind of a stupid term.
No, no, but
And,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, sure.
right, right. So, yeah, I think just check out the different concepts. I don't know. A lot of people have told me they'd like to just kind of flip to a random page
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what I think
like
so too.
stick to
Yeah.
that page for the day or something, like you said with the 12 tone lines. So yeah, it's not really. I definitely don't think it's necessary to do it like chronologically or anything.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on whatever the whoever has the book, whatever their interests are, and what they're looking for.
yeah. No, you do need some pre-knowledge. I mean, that's for sure. Like already of
Yeah.
the basic
Actually, what would
scales
be
and
smart is probably starting with the very last page, which is the discography, I think. Maybe I should have put that first because I feel like listening would be the
yeah, I'm just
essential.
looking at it. I mean, you have, yeah, I think I have all of this stuff at home,
Oh,
so
I'm sure you do.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful music. Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
it's nice that you included Sonny Greenwood. I mean, this he's like one of the most underrated players out there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I remember Rodney turned me on to him and he was like, man, if you're talking about like taking Coltrane's language and finding a
yeah,
way to get it onto the guitar that like makes sense, like he was kind of the like first guy to do it. I think. I mean, according to Rodney, it was like he was the guy who sparked the interest of like him and Sco and a lot of the guys who later on found their way with that language. And
yeah.
yeah, I love that Sonny Grange album.
Oh,
It's crazy people don't
he's so good.
know
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
and
very
Grant
cool.
Green, obviously, you include, and Coltrane,
Oh yeah.
Rodney, Messiaen. I love that you also touched Messiaen. He's also one of those subjects that like not many guitarists really go into. I mean, it's quite tricky.
Yeah, I was kind of I plan on doing a volume two of this.
Oh,
That's kind of
super.
like a more advanced but like a more harmonically dense version of this. Just like how to take things even further harmonic. That'll get more into like atonality and more of the
Fantastic.
20th
Yeah.
century or like like post-tonal even post-tonal theorists like Milton Babbitt and guys like that who like really have worked on um different like serialist approaches to just an open field of harmony
Mhm.
in an atonal way. But yeah, I felt like the Messiaen in this context kind of work because those modes can be used in this context like
That's
very clearly.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Really cool. How have you assimilated this language into your playing? I mean, how did you approach learning this stuff? I mean, it's an ongoing process, obviously, to learn
Right,
whatever by
right.
Coltrane, but still, like, this idea. How did you?
Yeah, I think well, I guess step one was just understanding it and finding a way to conceptualize it. And then after that, I feel like I probably transcribed like too much, thinking that like, oh, like just the more I transcribe, the more fluent I will be in this language. And then I kind of realized later on it's almost like the opposite. Like
Mm,
you just don't need with someone like Coltrane where there's just so much. Even if I mean, you could probably transcribe one Coltrane solo, and that's like you could just use only the language from that solo for like
yeah.
the rest of your life.
But did you
um,
learn all these solos, by the way? Because
um,
I'm also a huge transcription guy. I have like
oh,
600 transcriptions by Chris Potter and Sonny and Coltrane, but like
cool,
never
cool.
learned them 100% everything. I just was then like
Yeah.
transcribing. What's your
Yeah, I don't
process?
think I did. Yeah, I think I learned them more in the way of trying to extract
Yeah,
like
okay. Yeah,
or just like get inside of their brain
yeah,
basically. That's the main reason. But then yeah, I kind of feel like I realized after a while, okay, I need to like stop and just let this kind of like brew internally and then so I can actually use the language in an organic way because I mean, how can you transcribe like, 100 Coltrane's I mean and then just like spit out all the language like that's not I
yeah,
feel like that's not the way to do it. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I think just time really helped me like actually start hearing because they are dense, these harmonic ideas. So you really need to let it sit inside of your brain for a while before it can come out like in an as of organic of ways like, you could use like a blues scale or something like
yeah,
that.
sure.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, also like that you included these, the uh I like
Oh
this,
yeah, it's kind of just random. Yeah.
but this is like so Mick Goodrick stuff, I love this. Like
Yeah,
practice on
totally.
one string. I
Yeah, a
tell
lot
them,
of that is actually. Do you know that Jim Hall jazz guitar master class on
"Mm,
YouTube? It's with
yeah, yeah,
his
sure.
student
Oh, sure,
with
sure.
Satoshi in a way. Yeah, I think a lot of randomly detune the guitar like
Yeah,
that's a Jim Hall thing. Playing on one string, that's a Jim Hall thing. So
It's like
yeah,
Abercrombie. You know that Abercrombie
oh
works
yeah,
as
yeah,
well. He plays like I think
right.
Stella by Starlight on one tune, and it's like, damn man,
He
I
plays it
never
on one
could.
string on a record.
No, it's just like on that workshop, and
Oh, okay,
Stella
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
two choruses on one string, and it's like the sickest
Oh
lines ever.
man,
It's like, man, you have to see that.
wow, I
It's
don't know
but
that.
it's
I gotta check that out. Yeah, I
Jim
haven't seen
Hall,
that.
of course, yeah, is the basic of that, yeah. But yeah, beautiful. I
Wow.
mean,
Okay.
lots of good stuff. Next time you should
Yeah, thanks.
the next process is like adding audio, right? That could be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean
But
they
that's again,
yeah, I mean, I probably should have done
no,
that.
come on, no. It's beautiful. It's like that's for the lazy people. It's no,
Right. Yeah, yeah, I figured just I'll throw the discography in there. Like, why no one should listen
oh
to me
man,
play this stuff. They listen to Train play it. So,
no, it's I agree, man. Yeah, it's like
right,
people should know about these players and so many more. Especially the younger generations. I sometimes teach and I mention some names and everyone is like, what?
right,
Like you cannot start modern, I mean, guitar with Kurt Rosenwinkel. You have to go to Jim
totally.
Hall and Charlie Christian and all these guys, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
It seems there's a lot of sax players who like only know about Brecker and not
yeah,
Coltrane. It's like
exactly, yeah,
crazy, you know.
yeah.
So, I
Oh
mean,
man, I teach workshops, and sometimes you ask a drummer like, so who's your favorite drummer? It's like, yeah, Marcus Gilmer, super. What about
cool.
Paul Motion, man? Like
Right. And
who?
they're like,
Like,
right.
are you
Yeah,
kidding me,
yeah.
man? Like that's
Totally. Yeah.
go
Yeah,
into
especially when it gets a little more abstract or free. Like, I mean, most
yeah,
pianists don't even know who Paul Bley is, which is like, I mean, he's like my biggest hero. That's like mind blowing to me.
yeah, Andrew Hill and all these guys,
Oh my
Cecil. I mean,
God.
come on, man. That's like
I know.
that's a nice subject actually, like to explore what Cecil and Andrew and all these guys
Oh
played
yeah,
to
yeah.
put that on guitar. I mean, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I guess Joe Morris is kind of like Cecil
kind
on
of
guitar.
yeah,
Maybe more like Jimmy Lyons,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. Um,
That'd be
well,
cool.
yeah, I don't know how you would play Cecil. That would be cool. You're right. Yeah, that would be very cool.
That's a good idea for me actually to learn that.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Check.
no, man. I mean, yeah, it's like where can people get the book? And
Yeah, basically you can get it on the Melbay site or
yeah,
you can get it on Amazon has it. If you go to I have a website. It's oh God, what is it? kevinmillerguitar.com,
okay,
I,
we'll include it. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, yeah. So
mhm.
it's on there.
Okay,
um,
and it's
yeah, if you just
digital and physical, right?
yeah, I think there's like an ebook.
Oh, super.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's cool.
fantastic. Cool, great. Well, yeah, folks, come on, check it out. Play outside a little, not the inside
Right.
though. But man, thanks for sharing some of these thoughts, man, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for reaching out. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
really cool.